Imagine a world teetering on the edge. The mission is stark: obliterate missile sites, dismantle Iran's defense industry so it can never rise again, sink their navy, and ensure a nuclear weapon remains forever out of reach. On a sun-drenched tarmac, a giant sleeps. A C-5 Galaxy, one of the world's behemoths of the sky, capable of hauling 400 tons of steel and equipment across vast oceans. But tonight, its cavernous belly holds a different kind of cargo. An AH-64 Apache attack helicopter, a deadly predator of the skies, chained and ready to be unleashed into a conflict already raging. Intelligence whispers of Iranian drone swarms thickening over the Strait of Hormuz. The very UAE base from which Apaches launch into the patrol zone is taking hits: mechanical failures, combat damage, the relentless grinding pace of daily intercepts. One helicopter is grounded for repairs. The aerial shield cannot falter. The order goes out: deliver a replacement immediately. Ground crews, silent but efficient, swarm the Galaxy. Their shouts are swallowed by the roar of generators and the hiss of hydraulics. The Apache, a marvel of destruction, inches forward, guided into the massive cargo bay, a space large enough to swallow 2 city buses stacked one atop the other. Chains snake around it, securing it for the long journey. Every click, every Titan link is crucial. The war machine that flies out tonight must be combat-ready by dawn. Above, the pilots prepare in focused silence. Checklists are recited, switches flicked. 5 crew members settle into their assigned positions: 2 pilots in the cockpit, 2 flight engineers behind them, and a loadmaster overseeing the cargo. 7 pairs of eyes, all focused on a single deadly purpose. The flight engineers bring the C-5 Galaxy's 4 TF-39 engines to life, one by one. Each engine is a Titan, capable of generating more thrust than most fighter jets possess in total. The instruments awaken, needles climbing. The massive aircraft begins to breathe, to stir. This metal beast was forged for journeys without end. Equipped with aerial refueling, it can remain airborne for as long as its crew can endure. The pilots call it Fred. Not a term of endearment, but a testament to its unwavering ability to lift anything and put it down anywhere. With a groan, the C-5 Galaxy lurches forward, then commits to the sky. The nose climbs, defying gravity. The aircraft ascends. 4 engines roar at full power, carrying the vital replacement that the UAE base needs to maintain its relentless patrol. It climbs, a dark silhouette against the fading light, and disappears into the heavens. In its belly, the Apache waits, chained, silent, a coiled spring of destruction ready to be unleashed. At an American base in the United Arab Emirates, the AH-64 Apache attack helicopters never rest. Not for foul weather, not for the late hour, not for anything. Ground crews move with practiced precision, the movements of men who have performed these tasks countless times, but know that a single mistake could be fatal. Fuel lines are connected. Weapon systems are brought back online. The Apache, a twin-engine killing machine designed to find, fix, and destroy targets in any weather, day or night, is kept constantly ready. This base serves as the primary launch pad for American pilots flying sorties into the treacherous Strait of Hormuz. Their mission: intercept and obliterate Iranian Shahed drones before they can reach their targets. U.S. installations, Allied positions, oil tankers navigating one of the most strategically vital waterways on Earth. After each resupply, some Apaches rise into the air and fly to naval vessels stationed in the Gulf. They touch down on flight decks, becoming silent sentinels on standby. Waiting is part of the deadly game. Somewhere in a cramped cockpit, a pilot runs through his instrument checks once more. He's already done it, but repetition keeps the mind sharp, and action is better than dwelling on the dangers ahead. Others head directly into the strait on patrol. The rotation is ceaseless: helicopters departing, helicopters returning, helicopters poised on ships, ready to strike. U.S. Navy destroyers patrolling the strait detect incoming Dr. Imagine the scene. Aegis radar systems, their electronic eyes scanning the vast expanse. Data streams directly into the cockpits of Apache helicopters via Link 16. Even before the helicopter's wheels leave the ground, the pilot is already locked onto the drone's vital statistics: speed, altitude, heading. This isn't a mere reaction. It's a calculated intercept, set in motion before the enemy even knows it's been detected. The instant Iranian drones materialize on the radar screens, the clock starts ticking. Radar operators deep within the ship's combat information center pinpoint the contacts, classify them as hostile, threats, and flood the Apache crews with the critical information. Whether the pilots are topside, ready to launch, or already patrolling the skies, the order is absolute, delivered without a moment's hesitation. Those on deck ignite their engines, a symphony of raw power, while those airborne veer towards the looming danger. The Apaches close the distance with terrifying speed. The engagement is swift, decisive. The drones plummet from the sky, neutralized before they can reach their intended targets. In the aftermath, some helicopters limp back to the ships, needing a fresh bite of ammunition. The turnaround is lightning fast. The next alert could scream across the comms before the rotors even cease their furious spinning. Others make the long haul back to the land base nestled in the UAE, requiring a complete overhaul. Back on solid ground, the cycle of readiness begins anew. At the UAE base, maintenance crews swarm the aircraft like worker bees. First to go are the Hydra 70 rocket pods. Each pod cradles 19 deadly rounds, and each Apache carries 4, a total of 76 rockets stripped and replaced before the next sortie commences. The pods are carefully guided onto the stub-wing pylons, locking into place with a reassuring thud. Every single rocket undergoes a meticulous check before the pod is sealed. It's not about distrusting the equipment, it's about understanding the catastrophic price of failure when operating over open water. Beneath the helicopter's nose, the 30mm chain gun ammunition drum is gorged with high explosive rounds. These are the same rounds used to tear apart drones at close range. A brutal yet necessary task. The process is quick, precise, methodical. Then come the AGM-114 Hellfire missiles. Laser-guided and packing enough punch to obliterate armored vehicles, fortified bunkers, and reinforced structures. Each missile slides onto its rail launcher with practiced ease. Electrical connectors are engaged, mountings are double-checked, secured. A voice cuts through the organized chaos. "Hey guys, change your plans again." One of the crew chiefs casts a final gaze at a connector, ensuring its integrity. Not because it was done wrong the first time, but because it cannot be wrong. The helicopter is a fully armed, lethal predator, poised to strike. It won't be grounded for long. 15 grueling hours in the air, and the crew is running on fumes. Through the cockpit glass, the desert floor rushes up to meet them, the base growing larger with each passing second. The nose dips, and the runway ascends to greet them until the wheels kiss the earth. Its cargo bay, sealed tight at departure, now holds the replacement Apache, delivered to ensure that the vital coverage over the strait remains unbroken. The patrol never pauses. The next helicopter is already waiting. Transporting an Apache inside a cargo aircraft demands partial disassembly. The unloading commences without delay, a flurry of controlled activity. Crates and containers are extracted first, the components detached for safe transit. Then, the helicopter itself rolls out, rotor blades absent, landing gear deployed. It's guided manually down the ramp by a crew large enough to manage its immense weight, careful enough not to rush. Moving an airframe off an aircraft without grazing the sensitive sensors or weapon systems requires unwavering precision. The crew members know every contour, every edge. They've executed this operation countless times. Once the Apache is safely on the tarmac, it's hitched to a military tow vehicle. The crates follow on a flatbed trailer. The convoy inches across the airstrip to the assembly area. The mechanics are already in position. Rotor blades are fitted first, followed by the tail rotor. The drive shaft is connected. Stub wings are bolted into place. Weapons pylons are secured. Avionics panels are reconnected and tested. Rockets are loaded. Hellfires are mounted. The chain gun drum is refilled. The same voice again, laced with urgency. "Hey guys, change your plans again." All right. 8 PDS, 4 MPSMs. The mechanics run through the full checklist, their movements honed by repetition. Hydraulics, electrical systems, flight controls, engine systems, weapon systems. Everything must be perfect. All indicators are in the green.